So there's zero draw. Nothing is drawing the battery down.
Okay.
And we have an almost fully charged battery. So the next step is I'm going to turn the headlights on. So the battery voltage is going to drop a little bit. You're going to see a draw on the meter, and then you leave it on for a minute or so, and I'm going to turn the lights back off and watch for the battery to recover. Okay, so I'm going to turn the lights on right now.
Okay. Yep, we got some changes.
So we got some changes, right? Okay, so the headlamps and the courtesy lamps draw 9 amps, okay? And you saw the battery voltage went down.
Right.
So now I'm going to turn the headlights back off, and the battery is going to recover, and this should go away. Now, these meters are very sensitive. It may not go completely to zero, but
Sure.
you're going to see a complete drop right there. Okay. So the battery is recovering, and as you can see, this went almost down to zero.
Right.
And if I zero it out the meter again,
It'll
it'll show zero. So no big deal. All right, so we're gonna check the battery now. To do that, we're gonna crank for about 10 seconds, but I don't want the truck to start. So I'm gonna disconnect the coil wire, and the 10 seconds is gonna seem like very long. And while we're doing that, we're gonna watch our battery voltage to make sure it does not drop below 9.5. If it drops below 9.5, we need to charge the battery up and redo the test. If it does not drop below 9.5, then we're good.
All right.
So here's the coil wire. And we're going to ground it right there. And I'm going to crank for about 10 seconds, so watch the voltmeter.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
What was the minimum we went down to?
It went down to 10 once, but it stayed around 11.07.
Okay, that's a healthy battery, and that's a starter motor that's working properly and not drawing too much. So our next step now is going to be to start the truck and make sure that the alternator is charging properly. So we should have at least 1 volt above battery voltage with the headlights on. So I'm going to reconnect the coil wire,
Okay.
and then we're going to restart the truck.
All right. Might take a couple cranks because the fuel pump was changed some.
Okay, so we're at 14.6.
Yep.
I'm going to turn the headlights on to provide a load.
Okay.
And we're at 14.5. We're really good. And it's putting out 11 amps right now. There's not much load at all. If there's more loads on it, then the alternator is going to start putting out more. But so far right now, the charging system is working perfect. The battery's good, the starter motor is working. So we're all good here.
Nice. Excellent.
Okay, so the next test we're going to do is called a voltage drop test on the ground cable. So the way you do that is you take the voltmeter and you go from negative on the battery to somewhere grounding it on the engine or the alternator. So I'm going ground to ground. I'm going to disconnect the coil wire, and all I need to crank is for maybe 4 or 5 seconds, and wait till the noise goes by. And then I'm going to crank it, and this should be no more than a half a volt. If it's no more than half a volt, that means your ground cable is working properly and everything is attached properly. Okay, so here we go. Disconnect the coil wire. ground it here. Take a look at the meter, and I'm going to crank it for maybe 4 or 5 seconds just so we can get a reading.
All right.
Okay, what did it go to?
It hung out at like 0.18.
Okay, so that's a really good ground connection from the engine block to the battery. Okay, so the next test, we're going to test the body ground. So the way you do that is you go from battery negative to somewhere in the body. Should be nothing there. I'm going to turn the key on, I'm going to turn the headlights on, and I'm going to step on the brakes. This should not go above 0.1. Anything below 0.1 we're good. Anything above 0.1, the body ground needs to be redone or an extra one attached. Okay, so we go. I'm going to turn the key on, turn the headlights on, and step on the brake, and you're going to see the voltage drop across the body ground.
All right.
Dome light, key on, headlights, and stepping on the brakes.
All right.
There go the brakes, lights off, key off, and dome light off with the brakes closed.
Yep.
What do you go to?
Barely 0.04, but 0.03 was more like it.
Okay, so we got a good, that means you got a good body ground,
Nice.
which means the wipers will work properly, the headlights will be bright. If you got a bad body ground, if that went above 0.1, if you went like to 0.5 or so, you'd have dim lights, slow wipers, dim brake lights, and this is a test you would do if you have any of those symptoms. So on this one is perfect. So there you are.
Nice.